You're gonna cold open me. I'm not falling for it. Fuck you.
Moss talked about sucking down balls. Is what he was talking
Because I
about.
have
how we
jelly
do it.
beans.
That's how we do it in the business.
That's what
Yeah,
we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we call
in the
cold open.
streets.
Welcome back to another episode of Bruhaps Chat. Mark, how was Cocaine Bear? Tell me all about it.
I need you guys to go read my letterbox review, Cary. If you'd like to read it out loud. It's a masterpiece. That's all I'm gonna
Five-star.
say.
Okay, 5 star.
I've pretty much seen all of it too, working at my theater. Yeah.
Okay, no, Moss, you cannot read this out loud. Marco has literally typed 3 paragraphs. You're not gonna read this.
Whoa, it's a quick
Out loud.
read.
No.
Do you want Cary to read it, or do you
No.
want me to read it?
We're not.
I want someone to.
No.
If Cary's not gonna read it, then you read it,
No,
Moss.
it's not
if
worth
he's
it.
not, if he's too chicken, I'm gonna read
Now
it.
this is how to do a cinematic experience. I've never seen a film with a more convincing CGI bear, yet this one left me wanting more of the bear. I mean, the scenes with cocaine were gruesome, gory, blood-spilling bear rampage murder, and were some of the best scenes I've seen in a movie this year. The ambulance scene in particular was specifically awesome. The main thing in the story that got in the way, the people. There were
It's
too many
true.
storylines that slowly all intersected and took away from the bear. From the mom, kids, park rangers, drug dealers, punk-ass kids, detective, police officer, EMTs, etc. There are too many people in this movie for them to not all be brutally murdered by the bear. Once
true.
again, onto the star of the movie, the title character. The main message I took from this movie is that cocaine gives you fucking superpowers. You can chase down speeding ambulances, climb trees at Mach speed, and in all caps, literally become bulletproof. And being a bear just enhances the experience. If it were a person high as fuck on cocaine, then it would just be another horror movie. But I was rooting for the bear the whole time, and that allowed the suspenseful and surprisingly gruesome kills to be hysterical. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to be one of the most enjoyable movies I watched this year? Easily, by far, 10 out of 10 would recommend and watch again.
Dude, Marco's gonna protest at the next Academy Awards if it doesn't win an Oscar for something.
How did
will.
Cocaine Bear not get nominated for Best Funny Bear? Like,
Can
come
you
on.
get away from your camera.
Well, I'm
Now
trying
it's
to.
worse, Moss.
And I'm trying to fucking fix it. Relax.
Well, no.
A lot of visual stimulation on his screen right,
I'm
right now.
I'm totally fine. I just
Look at his
wasted
screen.
that.
His
completely.
screen, he's like
this
almost
is a
on my
baby game, as Marc would call it.
This
a
is literally
game.
baby game. It's funny because I was talking to one of my friends about because they were like, so does Zahava just like watch you play Overwatch? I was like, no, she can't watch for more than a couple minutes without getting sick.
Your girlfriend just
like,
can't
feeling
handle
sick.
the visual stimulation.
And then I was like, well, now when it comes to Destiny, it's hard for her to look at it at all because this for me is baby game. But for someone who doesn't play video games, this is literally like watching a seizure.
I put Sammy in
Honestly-
Overwatch in the practice range and she got really overstimulated.
Honestly,
I was like, they're moving back and forth. They don't move. And she was like, I don't know what to do. I put her in F1 though with the wheel. It was so funny.
that's of course that's
It's
easier
just like
because that's
driving
like
a
I just
car.
literally
Yeah.
turned every assist and
How
there was
hard
no.
is driving
You
a
did
car?
literally nothing except turn the wheel. That's all, and hit the gas pedal. That's all you had to do. You guys
Very
ever
good-
seen a
very good
Optimist before?
Optimus? Is that
What
an
is that?
Optimus Prime thing?
It's a little thing. You put it on your desk. They have different colors. They're supposed to signify different emotions. This one is
What
for
is that
joy.
one? Is that
Joy.
a crippling debt?
This one is joy. No, this was a gift. Fuck you. I didn't pay for this.
Okay, so
I
it's somebody
wasn't- I
else's
just said that not
crippling debt.
referring to you. Exactly,
Um,
somebody else.
And they're like, oh, wow, you like press them and they bounce.
are there colors for like negative emotions? It'd be really awkward if someone gifted you.
No, there's like red, but it's meant for like love. There's
I don't
just
know-
like a
I don't know
black one.
about
It's
that
like
one.
depression.
Like, oh yeah,
like
this
there's a dark green one.
this gift made me think of you, and just just the depression one.
So you're fucking depressed.
Okay. Any non-F1 viewers, please skip this section. We have the timestamp, so you could just skip it because
Not
We
if
had
you're
our
on
opening race.
Spotify.
Actually, listen to it and be
Noted.
confused because it'd be really funny.
That's true, yeah.
If you're on Spotify, you're fucked. You gotta listen to it.
So we had our opening race, the Bahrain Grand Prix.
We
Before
had our opening race.
Well, okay, well, before we
I
go
raced
into
in it. I
like what
placed
happened.
I placed P5. It's pretty good.
I got like 16 million penalties and DNF'd out of the race actually. So
There's someone I know about that. You can talk about my man's right now.
So, but yeah, so basically, Bahrain Grand Prix, the first race of the season, and I want to start this topic off with like something I asked everyone else here to like come up with a hot take, and I'm gonna call the segment "It's Just One Race," but where like we have like a hot
we
take
have segments now.
based on the whole season. So like,
We got the timestamps, of course we do.
yes, okay, so I'm gonna start off with my hot take. All right, it's just one race, but Williams are no longer the last place in the constructors. They're not. I mean, after they got 10th and 12th place at the race, I think, like, especially because Logan Sargent's a rookie, he almost made it into Q2 on pure pace. Like,
channel that American fucking spirit,
yeah,
baby.
That American
like,
drive.
the first race, they're able to get 10th and
What
12th.
was that?
I went.
What is that?
Have you never heard that before?
Nope.
No.
Never
You ever listen to Pitbull?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but
I feel like that's different than what Nick was
that's
doing.
very different. That's what Nick was doing is that wasn't the same.
All right, Cary. So
Williams
Williams is no longer the worst car. Who is?
Wait, I have 3 hot takes. I hope you know
Just
that.
give me like 1 or 2. Okay, well the idea is I asked you to give 3 because there's a good chance some of you guys have the same one.
You guys aren't gonna take any of mine.
You
Yeah,
have
you
3
guys,
very unique
I know
ones.
for a fact you guys aren't
Okay.
taking my hot takes.
All right, so Mark, it's just one race, but
It's just one race, but Max Verstappen is gonna pull a Sebastian Vettel and win 4 in a row.
So you're
So
calling
he's
out
win-
But he'd only win his 3rd this year.
I know. I'm saying
he's winning
gonna
next
win
year.
next year too. I'm not saying drivers I'm not saying constructors maybe, but Max Verstappen will win this year and next year.
I honestly think there's a decent chance that
That's
he's
reasonable.
He will
the
pull a
best.
Sebastian Vettel.
Unless any,
That's not a
unless
hot take.
unless anyone pulls.
I know.
through,
Well, that's why I have 2 more scorching takes, and that was my like reasonable hot
Okay,
take.
well, that was
it's like
cold. That was cold.
unless anyone like really pulls through with development and goes into the next season like fighting Red Bull like actively,
There's no one.
no one's gonna play catch up until
Well,
2026.
that's exactly that's what I was gonna say. I think like until the big regulation change, I don't think it's gonna be very easy. For
These
anybody
regs
to
are
get
around for a while, so you're either ass or you're.
It's only the
gas,
engine
so.
update that's in
You're the ass or your
2026.
grass.
That's the only it's only the engine update for 2026. But
I
okay,
thought it's
Moss,
complete
I
like
still think that makes a big
aerodynamic.
enough deal.
give me a hot take that's like the sun.
It's just one race, but McLaren will finish last in the constructors championship
That's
this year.
a take. Yes, dude.
Their
Nick,
car,
wait,
I
wait,
know,
wait,
like
no, Nick. I want you to
That's a
respond.
little,
McLaren fan?
That was
McLaren
literally
fan?
my hot take, but
You
the
know,
opposite
well,
direction.
it
I was
was
like,
supposed
it's only one race, but McLaren can still finish at the top or maybe close to the top of the midfield.
I want to clarify. I originally had them P8, but you're like scorching. I'm like, fuck it, they're gonna finish last. This is the problem with McLaren right now. I know like Lando and even Zach and like everyone in the team has been saying like we were behind in development. They're still waiting for their wind tunnel to get up and running, and they've been spending so much money elsewhere that they haven't put it in for the car. And they have like a big development package coming for like the 4th or 6th race, I think they said, which is where they wanted their 2023 car to start. And if that like upgrade comes in and their car is still ass, they are not finishing any higher than P7. Like last I did for the shock factor, you know, I'm a fucking
No, that I like
Skip
it.
Bayless over here, you know, being like
Yes.
LeBron sucks. But I really don't think McLaren's gonna have a good year. And
I
I
like that.
think Lando is gonna look to get out of his contract.
But he can't. He signed the contract with no exit clauses. Most other big drivers they sign with an exit clause.
His
For example,
exit clause
like,
is I don't want to work here anymore.
I
This
refuse
shit
to
is
drive
ass."
this
But he
fucking
can't.
car,
He-
so
he-
pay me or rewrite my contract. That's what Danny Rick did.
No, but Danerick got bought out of his contract. Do you think McLaren wants to let go of Lando? No, so they're not
If
gonna.
Lando's like, you suck, I'm really good. There's so
Ooh,
many
you know
other teams
what?
that would take him.
This could be like an NBA situation where, like in the NBA, there's been a history of players who want out of the team, but the team won't let them. So what they do is they just play so bad that the team is forced to trade them.
Yeah, they just
Could you
tank.
imagine if Lando just
Lando
like
goes a race, doesn't go above 4th gear the whole time. Like
he just sandbags the whole race?
he's just chilling at like 65 down the straights.
Can you be if you're subjected to a contract and you're as a driver you're not trying your best to fulfill that contract? Can you be sued by your team?
I don't know.
'Cause you're like-
unless,
I don't think you
They
can be
just
sued,
replace
but
you,
there
essentially.
has to be some kind of thing where it's like if the team isn't happy, they have the right to just turn. Look what they did with fucking Nikita Mazepin. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
he was
whoa,
supporting
whoa, whoa,
Putin.
whoa.
he was
No, that's different.
No, okay,
Okay,
That's
that-
different
I'd say
because
that's
he
different.
sucks. Lando
no,
doesn't
but-
suck.
okay, no, but the example is like he was under contract. They wanted him gone, and like yes, it was due to some political situations. But Haas was just like, okay, fuck you, like
Okay,
3
no,
weeks
but-
before
but-
the season. You know what I mean?
That's what you said before. Like the team doesn't want to get rid of Lando. That's the issue. Lando wants out, but the team the team can get rid of him, but they don't want to because he's like a young, talented driver, and he's
Because
got
I
a big
can
fan
think of
base.
some teams that would go after Lando Norris.
Max v Lando, or
I would
George
even
v
think the-
Lando.
The Mercs, yeah,
Yeah,
because
like,
he's not going to fucking Ferrari. I think any F1 driver would rather
I think,
shoot
yeah,
himself
no one wants to go to
than go to
now.
Ferrari.
Like I think they've like no one wants to go there anymore. But yeah,
Nick,
like
Which sucks for the Ferrari drivers.
Well, no.
well, okay, so Nick, like
My
you
name
had
is
the
Carlos
opposite.
Sainz.
Like
Yeah,
give me your
yeah,
argument.
like
It's just one race, but
it's just one race, but I think that McLaren still has the chance to prove that they can sit at the top of the midfield, around the top of the midfield. I think that they could still get back there with Alpine, with Aston Martin, with them. Because
You're cooking.
Well, the
Whoa,
issue is
don't
the
put
Aston
Martin
the
is not
Astons aren't in the midfield
midfield.
right now. They are the second best car on the grid.
again, what is one race? That wasn't necessarily a hot take, but they have to prove it. In my opinion, they have to prove a little bit more. Like that's not necessarily a hot
Okay.
take. I think they have to prove a little bit more. Like Fernando Alonso's just a really good driver, and Lance Stroll finished P5. Was it P5 or P6?
Six.
P6.
He's
So-
so Marks.
Yeah. So like maybe it was a good race. Maybe the conditions fit them well. Maybe they did some things correctly that other teams didn't. Like maybe we have no idea. I think they have to prove it to me. If that happens for week 2, for race 2 and race 3, that they're right there, then I'm like, okay, then I'll admit, all right, sure, that's where they are.
Okay, Mark.
All right. It's
Go for
just
hot.
one race, but either Haas or AlphaTauri will be gone by the end of by the beginning of next season.
Well, like the team, like they have to like sell
Yes,
the team.
they're gonna get
Ugh.
bought out. They're gonna get sold.
When is Porsche coming? 2026, right?
No,
Around there,
Audi
or
is
2025,
2026.
around there. Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, so the thing is, there was those rumors of AlphaTauri having to like be sold out, but then I remember,
There was a statement made
yeah,
being
Franz
like,
Tost
we're
said,
not
like, that's not
selling
true.
this team.
Yeah, and they didn't go over on the budget. Sure.
But okay, then like if that has to happen, who do you think would come in? Like, or would there
I
like?
think-
Andretti.
I think Andretti would replace Haas, or we'd get some like random shit back. You know.
Some like
Like,
Saudi
I feel like
Arabian team.
Walmart, McDonald's.
I
Yeah.
take Walmart McDonald's racing, bro. Throw Logan Sargent in that bitch. We're good to go.
Walmart,
Man's
McDonald's,
is top.
Ford.
All right. I have one more take, but this one is.
Well, I
It's
have
not
one
like
more.
immediate to this season, but it's like It's pretty scorching.
That's what we want. Give us the
Alright, Mark.
scorching. Give us the fucking.
It's just one race, but Lewis Hamilton will not finish his career at Mercedes if he cannot win the title by the end of next year.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, okay, honestly, I'm gonna be honest.
Because
that's not that hot of a take.
my
That's, no.
my giga overtake brain take is Lewis will not race in 2026. Lewis will be done by 2026, whether he has his 7th
That's
or
what I
not.
was. That's what I was gonna say. Like, how long do you think he's
Whether
gonna
he
race? How
has
long do you
his
think he's gonna race
8th or
for?
not.
3 more years
but
max.
if he can't get it this year or next year, he's going to either Ferrari or somewhere else to win.
Well,
his
Ferrari's
title.
the only other
No.
place.
Not
He's,
Ferrari.
no.
I would not be surprised if him, because I don't think he's going to go back to McLaren because they suck ass.
Bro,
And
it'd be
I think
fucking
maybe him and
genius.
Charles could get traded. I think they could swap him around.
It'd be fucking genius marketing for Formula One if they put they put him on Red Bull against Max.
No, dude. No one wants to go
It'd
to
be
Ferrari.
fu- it'd be
Lewis would
funny
have.
as fuck.
No one wants to go to Ferrari. I don't care if Ferrari says this year we have our car because it's
They don't.
From a
Clearly,
management-
they don't.
They could have the fastest car, but from a
I just
management position, they
came
cannot
up
win a
with another
championship.
take. I have
Like,
another.
think
okay,
I'll-
well, hang on. No.
To
Here's
touch
the thing,
on,
right?
To touch on the Lewis thing, I've been seeing all the news this week, and like it's been hurting me as like a Mercedes fan and a Lewis fan. That one, Lewis literally put the fucking team on blast and was like, "Yeah, man, I've driven a lot of cars. You know, I've won a lot of races. I told the team what was bad about the car, and they just didn't listen to me." So it's like the team now with this big like Imola upgrade has to win Lewis back. I think it's likely because they're basically putting what is their fucking technical director's name right now?
James Allison or Allison?
No, not James Allison. The guy who's currently there. Mike something. I think it's Mike.
Mike
something.
Elliott. Mike Elliott.
Yeah, Mike Elliott.
Mike
He's
Cobb.
being put on blast because they're bringing in James Allison. And do you know what car James Allison overlooked the entire development of? The Mercedes W11 E-Performance, the most dominant F1 car, one of the most dominant F1 cars
in a different era.
in history.
In a different.
It's still the turbo hybrid era. We're still in that
No, we're
era
now
of
in the
engines.
Max era. No, we're in the Max
Yeah,
era.
we're in the Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
I think it's like I agree with you. If they don't, I don't think he's gonna move another team unless Ferrari comes out next year and like it's some crazy battle and Ferrari's got a crazy car. I think Lewis is either just he's gonna give it 2 or 3 more years. If he gives it his best, I think he's just gonna retire.
The frustrating thing is that. Oh, sorry, Nick.
Well, we still have this entire season. Like we said, people have big.
But they're not
upgrades
going to
to
do
come.
anything. Like,
Well, the thing
let's
that
be, like,
George has
Unless
also been
their
saying,
their upgrade literally is
not
like
winning. That's-
fucking monumental,
that's
and they
all
can
Lewis
beat
cares
the
about.
Red Bulls.
that's all they care about,
It's
winning.
'cause
I don't care if they come
George,
second. They need to win.
George was talking
they're
about
not.
how it doesn't matter if we show up with Red Bull side pods or whatever. He was like, the problem is the floor and the internals of the car that they ignored the input on. And that's not an easy thing to fix. That is like bringing a brand new car.
The only silver lining in this whole situation is because Aston Martin is doing so well. The Mercedes know the issue is not with the engine. Aston Martin uses the Mercedes engine, so at least we know it's not that problem. We know it's like an aerodynamic problem.
It's a
with,
design thing.
Yeah, it's a design. It's not the engine, which is good.
The
Because
floor and
if
the
it was
aerodynamic.
if it was an engine problem, that's a problem because you can't change your engine until 2026. But I want to propose another possible solution at the end of this year, right? And the frustrating thing is that right now, Mercedes is like wasting Lewis Hamilton's like twilight years. He's at the last prime years of his career, and he's probably going to retire within 5 years. And like you're wasting this valuable time while he's trying to fight for that 8th. What if if Aston Martin continues to show that they're successful, and let's say maybe they finished P3, right? Let's say, what if Lewis tries to go back what if he tries to go to Aston Martin? At that point, I mean, what was fucking Lawrence Stroll gonna kick out his own son to have 2 world champions on his team?
They wouldn't put Alonso and Hamilton together.
Could you
I don't
imagine?
think so.
would
Could
never
you
have-
imagine?
Alonso's
That has as
dick is
much-
too big.
That has as much chance as Max and Lewis being on the same team.
I just
No,
like,
I think that's more likely.
because
Than,
the
he's
only
not going to
other
go to Red
team
Bull.
that Lewis has history with is
McLaren, right?
McLaren. But they
they
suck
suck
a
ass.
lot of dick right now, and it's just not what,
Fucking all over on that shit.
it's
right
not
now.
looking. It's not looking.
If you're
like,
Lewis, and hypothetically, right? What if Christian Horner says, "Hey, we have the fastest car. We are the best team right now, and for the foreseeable future, come to Red Bull." On the premise that you fight with Max, but other than that, like Max is your only competition. Realistically, if like,
But then it's who do they develop the car and the liking of? It's gonna be Max.
it's gonna
'cause
be
Red
it's
So
You
Christian Horner,
No, it
basically,
would never
Christian
fucking
Horner.
No,
be
you can't
Lewis.
you can't do something like that because it was clearly proven by the wonderful, successful Mattia Binotto last year when he said Ferrari doesn't have a number 1 driver. They're both good. Clearly, if he was to go to Red Bull against most likely a 3-time defending world champion, he's not going to beat Max. And the team is going to pick Max over. You think he's going to go in and all the fucking mechanics at Red Bull will be like, "Hey, Lewis, remember all
After
that time
30
you
years
shit
of
all over our
hating-
Dapping
team?
him up.
hating
You
Lewis
and Max had this
Hamilton.
tense rivalry. Hey, pal, let's go get some drinks." You know, it's like I also don't think Christian Horner would reach out to Lewis. I don't think so.
But but it's just like what Lewis is like. I need that 8th, and like, what is he willing to do to get that
I
8th
think
championship?
something that could happen, even though I don't think Toto is leaving Mercedes, but
Lawrence Stroll tried to get Toto to
I know.
go to Aston Martin.
So I think one of the only ways that Lewis leaves
Is if
is
Toto
if Toto
leaves.
goes to another team that has potential and brings Lewis with him, and is like,
So
George,
then,
it's been fun. Go fuck yourself, and then
So
he
sorry,
just
George.
hops over with Lewis, and Toto brings Lewis to a new team with Lewis as the primary driver, and wins him a championship that way.
This
then
is
what
my
team do you
thing.
think that has
I
any
think
chance of
if
being?
Lewis doesn't win his 8th with Mercedes, he's not winning his 8th.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be like a Kobe situation. He's been on that team for so long. They've given him so much success that, like, yes, I get it. It's a business, you know. But I think Lewis would rather just retire than leave. But I feel different about this whole situation because never before. Last year the drivers weren't outspoken about how bad they thought the car was, but they never really were like, the team made us a fucking shit car. They're like, the car's hard to drive. They're trying to fix it, whatever. Lewis put the team on blast and was like, they didn't fucking listen to me. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. They didn't listen to me. So now what? And then they bring in James Allison and Mike Elliott's under all this. Like, that whatever Mercedes comes out with in Imola, it might not shoot them above like the Astons or above the Red Bulls, but it's gonna make them more competitive. Otherwise,
it doesn't matter. More competitive doesn't matter. They can't win in a silly race. They have to just win.
Okay, but if they have
beat Max and win.
But the thing is, if it's a big upgrade in race 6 and they continue development and say like last year by Silverstone, it's like they actually can have a consistently competitive race car at the front, and like yes, they maybe pull out some wins. I'm like, as long as the year ends, like, because last year ended, Mercedes, obviously they had a bad season, but like they had the win. Their car, by the end of the season, seemed like fixable. The drivers were somewhat happy. They were performing more to what we expected out of a team like Mercedes and people like Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Now this year, it's like they need to win a couple races. And then by the end of the year, they're like, we can fuck up Red Bull next year. You know what I mean? If they put the right people in play.
They just have to win. They just have to win. Like,
one of the things that fucked Mercedes up a little bit, mine is just going with the wrong concept. A ton of their staff went to other teams, and a lot of them went to Red Bull.
Aston Martin.
This year, a lot of the Red Bulls
went to Aston
Martin, other teams. So I think,
but we're not going to see
that slowly start losing people, and they juggle ideas around.
Dished out the fucking big.
But that's going to take a while, though. Like for Red Bull to start to feel that effect, it's going to take at least another year, maybe 2, for them to slow. That's what happened to Mercedes. Mercedes lost a lot of their talent like a year, 2 years ago, and we're only starting now to see that effect. Like Max is winning this year. Like I feel confident.
100%.
Like
Max is winning this year. Yeah.
Like,
he won the first race by like 40 seconds. Checo was only 10.
I think
but like,
as the gaps close and
won't.
things get better by the end of the season, again, I am of the belief that Max will win this season and next season. I think next season can be a big fight. But I think Max will win, and it'll be a 4-timer.
Yeah, fucking Lance Stroll versus Max Verstappen for the championship.
I'd shoot myself.
Lewis can still drive the fucking pants off of a car. Just the car needs to not suck ass, and it needs to be fast, which it's neither of those things. Like it's not fast, and it's not like it sucks. They're still like the 3rd or 4th best car on the grid because their car doesn't explode, so that helps them.
Yeah.
But they just need, if Imola is bad, then they're just, because everyone expects the normal Mercedes sandbagging this
He's
and
retiring
that, whatever.
right there and then.
No, just if they can't bring it, if they can't bring it and keep Lewis happy, because he was miserable last year. It doesn't matter because he didn't win. Both their drivers need to win at least a race or 2 this year. To keep George isn't going to go anywhere. He's at fucking Mercedes.
No, well, they have to win a race without Max DNFing.
Yes,
like that's
they have
the challenge.
To legitimately beat Red Bull.
Well, they did
at their own game. Whether it's strategy, whether it's just
that's not true because
dog in it.
Because the reason why
Max and Lewis both got damaged from that,
and then Max had to pit. Yeah, so,
yeah.
Like it has to be a legitimate win.
Can I do my second hot take?
Is it hotter than your previous?
I mean, not as, but it's still pretty hot.
Okay.
It's just one race. But Aston Martin will fail to properly develop their car and will go over the budget cap this year with the big boy Lawrence Stroll bucks. I think they're going to lag behind, and Lawrence Stroll is just going to be like, fuck it, money, throw money at the car. And then next year, it's not going to be like $400,000 like Red Bull. Like, I think they could be a couple million over
Just like
over the cost cap.
300 million over. Just
And
like,
Alonso's just,
67 billion over the cost cap.
No, it's
Alonso's like literally laughing as he's
Alonso's like,
retiring
I
on his
don't
third
and y'all
fucking
still didn't win the
championship.
chip after overspending.
no. And the best part is that they're just looking at their expenses, and it's just fucking Mr. Stroll just going out to dinner a bunch of fucking times
Yeah,
trying to
it's
get
the
people to
fucking,
come.
the
I don't
fucking
know,
private
man.
helicopter pads to
Him
the track.
celebrating his son finishing 7th.
Hey,
Bought-
Lance. Oh my
Bought his
God.
son a new
New pair of
a new
wrists.
PlayStation.
New-
You
I also
know?
have another one, but it's not really hot. Just like
Okay.
it's just one race, but this season will be monumentally more entertaining than last season.
I have another hot
Monumentally?
take.
I think
I
so.
just thought
Okay,
of
no, that's
another
pretty
hot
hot.
Well,
take.
think of qualifying. You know, last year there was such a gap. This year,
That's true. It
from
was
first
between,
to
like, a
10th, it
second.
was
You know what? You're
1
right.
second.
You're right. If you just pretend
If you forget
Max
about the
Verstappen.
races,
No. If you just pretend
Yeah,
Max
I mean
doesn't
that's
exist.
obviously the
this
thing. It's like,
season's pretty
yeah,
sick.
sure, you know, first place is locked down, but everything else, it's like even the midfield during the race, it's like sure, obviously yes,
to
you got the
piggyback-
Mercs, the Ferraris, and now maybe the Astons at top, but they're all so like that battle between Lewis and Fernando. I was on the losing end of that, but it was fucking entertaining. You know what I mean?
to piggyback off of Moss's point, it's just one race, but this will be no ordinary
Fuck
season.
you.
Damn, it's true. That's true. It
It's
will
just
be.
one race, but Esteban Ocon will set a record for most
most-
penalties in one season.
Or Pierre Gasly will miss a race this year because he will go over on penalty points and get a race ban for being an idiot.
What's with the Gasly hate this season?
Yeah, why do you hate
Fuck off.
Gasly?
He had a
He-
good
Face.
He
You
had
just
one of
hate
the
him.
better drives at,
You just
at
hate him
Bahrain.
because he's more attractive than you.
Nah, he's got two
Exactly.
L's on his face, bro, and he put them upside down and backwards too. Man doesn't even know how to spell. Fucking lame.
French. What the fuck have the French ever done?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
French toast sticks?
French
That's
fries.
fries.
hey, that's American, baby.
Logan Sargent.
Logie Sard.
Imagine if we went to Montreal this year with Lance Stroll actually being good. In a good car.
Still
No,
no, everyone would
no,
still
fuck
boo
that.
him.
I'm going
I'd still boo him. I don't care.
I'm
Go
going
to
to Coda. I'm going to Coda. Fuck that with Logan Sargent racing
Oh,
for his
that's
first
true.
time.
There is one enjoyable Canadian
Wait,
driver
is
that
it
has
Logan
ever
from
driven in Formula
Florida?
One. He's
And
from
that is
Florida,
the
yeah.
goat. And that is
And that
the
is the GOAT.
undisputed goat of
Yeah, but
It's
Yeah,
just one race, but it is not the same without
Nicholas
Latifi.
Latifi.
To see him crash and die in every single race was so
to
entertaining.
see him cost Williams millions of dollars worth of front
Okay, but think
wings.
about it. We would be avoiding this whole max ahead by 54 seconds
if we
he
had
crashed.
safety cars.
Him and Schumacher, if they were both still on the grid, Max would not be able to build that gap. Because that
can't-
safety car would be fucking crazy.
We can definitely say the talent is a lot like the talent pool is a lot closer this year with all the new
Wrong.
drivers.
I don't know,
that
like
they brought in.
some like Piastri, it's like
Wrong.
everyone's sucking his dick super hard,
Oh,
but he's in
awesome.
like the worst fucking car on the grid.
That's not
you know?
Piastri's fault.
Still,
You
How
gotta
come we
remember,
still
guys,
don't
but
know?
you guys gotta remember that Pierre Gasly is on the grid, so he's
What
just
is he the new
sucking-
dangerous one?
No, he just sucks.
The Magnussi's gonna go back to his olden ways of just fucking
Of
crashing
not
at every
driving
race.
in Formula One. Of not driving in Formula One after this year.
Okay. It's okay. Hang on a second. I'm finding.
Aren't we doing predictions and stuff now?
Who's gonna
Max
win
wins. Cool. That's awesome.
Max wins.
It's gonna be
Red
awesome.
Bull wins.
Red Bull wins.
Alex
Oh, I
Albon
mean,
wins the
we could-
Crypto.com overtake
we
of the
could,
year award.
We could talk a bit about Ferrari for a second. I mean, there's not much
Ugh.
else to say. But at this point, like, what do Ferrari do? I guess like that's the question. Like, what do you do? It's pretty clear that
They
winning the
have the
championship is going to be
only
tough.
engine that is consistently blowing up on the grid. So they just need to make their car so good that they don't have to run their engine as hard. And they can just speed off
Cary-
into the sunset.
Carrie, remember that scene from Rush? Where Niki Lauda stops
It's a
and
shit
he's like,
box.
and he's like, I
It's a
can't
shit
drive
box.
this car. And he's like, you can't say that. It's a Ferrari. He's like, I don't care. It's a piece of shit.
It's a shit box.
That
But
is
look
how
at
I feel. Like the vibes are up at Ferrari. Everyone felt good. Charles gonna start the second race of the season with at the back of the grid because he
With
has
a
a penalty. Because the
Yeah,
fucking energy store, man.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough year for Ferrari.
Ferrari's
They
going. Ferrari's
they
going
put
fourth
Prime
in the
instead of
championship.
fuel.
Mark my words. Fourth in the
Four. So
championship
Aston,
for Ferrari.
so like, what's the order? Red Bull,
Red Bull-
Aston, Mercedes.
I want to
Aston
say
and
Red
Mercs,
Bull,
it's-
Mercedes, Aston,
It's
because I
too.
still think
I think Mercedes will still develop better than Aston because they've never had a good car before.
you also got to remember
that's a
'cause they're not gonna
The
have
Astons and the Mercs are interchangeable, but I think Ferrari's going fourth.
because
Unless they,
Alonso's not gonna blow up every race like he did last year.
I want to see
But
him
he
crash out of a
does
couple
have
races.
he does like you have the Dark Lord Fernando Alonso, but then you have the most unpredictable driver on the grid as his teammate who almost took him out in the first
No, I'm sorry.
race.
You have the stupidest driver on the grid, Lance Stroll.
The most punchable driver
Yes,
on the grid,
yes.
Lance Stroll.
It's so funny that he has a good car now because we still are gonna consider him that fucking guy.
He's still gonna be ass. Like I don't care.
Wow,
He's gonna be
finished
ass, but
P6.
the thing is, it's gonna be even more dangerous because he'd be chilling in 5th place all the time.
See, I get Fernando's
He
really
crashes and
but
8
I-
people behind him just
I
disappear.
really want to see like Fernando just go for it this season, and then so many times just take him and the other guy out with him. I want him to like, go for some insane overtake and just slam into some other guy. That'd be fucking hysterical. I also just don't like Fernando Alonso.
Have you guys heard about the Esport Olympics that came
my
out a few weeks
God.
ago?
Oh yeah, that's all just like
It's a fucking
cycling
joke.
and tennis. It's
I
just
thought it
like-
was like Overwatch and like League.
Okay,
but
well,
no,
the
they're
reason
just
what-
gonna play
Wait, no, I
sports
didn't-
virtually.
Okay, so Nick.
Wait, what?
Okay, so basically a few weeks
so
ago.
like Metaverse Olympics essentially.
So Nick, a few weeks ago, and to anyone else who doesn't know, the Olympic account, they tweeted out that they're adding esports to the Olympics, and it's going to take place in Singapore in mid-June, which means it's not happening during the actual Olympics, which are in 2024 for Paris. But what's going to happen is they announced the list of esports that are going to be in the Olympic esports series, and the list. So the tweet was, here's the lineup: archery, baseball, chess, cycling, dance, motorsport, sailing, tennis, and taekwondo. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
So
And
they
then later
can't
on,
just play chess. They can't just play chess normally.
So a week later, they announced. So it's like, what games? Like, what game are you gonna be playing for motorsport or all these other sports? So here's the list. Ready?
all just
So the
sim
9
games.
sports for archery, the video game they're playing is Tic Tac Bow. For baseball, they're playing WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. For chess, it's just chess.com. For cycling, they're playing Swift. Just Dance for dance. They're playing
No
Gran
fucking
Turismo.
way.
Gran Turismo for motorsport. For sailing, the video game is going to be Virtual Regatta, which I don't know. Regatta.
These
don't know
are
what that is.
mobile games.
Yeah,
like
tennis
phone
is-
games,
tennis
baby
Clash.
games.
And what's funny is these mobile games have microtransactions, which are pay to win. So I don't know what they're like. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
See, when you say adding esports to the Olympics, I figure it's like Valorant, League, see, like big games that are played worldwide.
Chess.com, Zwift, Just Dance.
yo, it's
Gran
gonna be
okay,
sick.
Gran
These
Turismo.
motherfuckers are gonna hold a Wii remote in the Olympics and just.
Okay, Gran Turismo, fine. That's a true racing sim.
That's
fine.
a true racing.
That's actually a racing sim,
Virtual
yeah.
Taekwondo, so I'm just gonna pretend to kick you in the face, bro. I'm just gonna press X.
Do Wii boxing. It's the
Mortal
same
Kombat.
shit. Play
so
fucking.
they're playing.
This is the stupidest. That you know that this was not organized by people who even have some sort of semblance of have ever played video games.
Yeah. So the
These
reason
people played like baseball for the
they're-
Atari 2600. You know.
their explanation was that the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, they made it clear long ago that it was not going to have violent games that were like,
Anyone can do this. I could get really good at tic tac bow. I could get really good at tic
You can win a
tac
gold medal.
bow
You can win a gold
because
medal.
I paid a lot of money and I'm at the top of the leaderboards and go to the esports Olympics and suck ass because I've never actually played the game.
But I'm a fucking Olympian for playing tic tac.
exactly. But I'm an esports Olympian, bro.
I would rather never. I would rather not be an Olympian than be an Olympian for virtual taekwondo. Like, give me a fucking break.
Tic Tac Bow. I'm a pro at
Put Beat Saber in the Olympics or something. I don't get like anything like violent games. They're just it's so fucking stupid. Put Overwatch. They got
Well,
big Winston
Zwift?
characters.
Zwift, so like Peloton biking, one of the best parts about cycling is when people crash and fall and mess up everybody behind them. You know what you're not going to do virtually? That. What, your bike falls over in your room?
So
But, like,
two
People
of
have
the
their pets
Literally,
around?
they could just play Rocket League. Rocket League is like the best example for that.
oh
What
yeah,
are they
that's actually
thinking?
perfect because it's
Or
also
League. They
no,
can even
well,
play
no,
League.
well,
League,
like
League is
okay, but like if
semi-violent,
you're going by the
that's their
criteria
logic.
that you can't have violence in your video games, League doesn't count. But Rocket League works because not only is it non-violent, it's also very easy to understand for non-gamers because it's just soccer with cars. Like that's in the premise. It's like already you can
Literally,
enjoy it.
Rocket League is like the only one
That could work.
No, you
Smash?
can't. Well, Smash,
No,
I guess.
Smash.
No,
I
not
mean, they
it's violent,
they
but it's
could make the case.
children.
It's not like Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean?
They just, have
Yeah.
to ban, they just have to ban characters like Snake.
Look, the Olympics are, peak athleticism, very proper, well put together, passionate.
Corruption.
You want no. You want to add spice to that? You let gamers get involved, all right? You let them use the gamer words, the words that they probably wouldn't use on a broadcast. Don't turn text chat off. You listen to voice chat. You listen to these people go off. The Olympics, there will be more people watching the Olympics
You just
than
listen
ever.
to the
if
voice
this is
comms,
the,
just like, yes, let's go, I'll fucking destroy them, and they're standing
Exactly.
up there.
If this is what
talking
if this is
shit.
what the new norm
They're
is at the
talking-
Olympics, these are gonna be some spicy ass Olympics.
Yeah, but
Well,
that-
if this is the fucking norm, I'd love to watch people play fucking Just Dance at the Olympics.
No
Like,
one's
there's
gonna watch this.
Some of the most incredible athletes in the entire world go here. And you're gonna get some random motherfucker who plays Just Dance in his free time to go compete at the Olympics.
So, there's an article that I found that had some more information on this, and two of the games, Virtual Taekwondo and Tic Tac Bow, have been made by a company called Refract Technologies, and as many as 3 executives from that company have direct connections to the Global Esports Federation, or the GEF. And while this has raised some eyebrows, the head of esports for the Olympics has insisted that the GEF isn't involved in selecting the games. And there's also the issue that they're pay to win because they're mobile games. And the president of the Esports Olympics Committee said that they've agreed with the publishers to have a cap to avoid pay to win situations, which I mean it just sounds like
What the fuck is the point?
You need to give everyone the same version of the game.
no.
Dude, the Overwatch World Cup is gonna come back, and it's not gonna be as good as it used to be, but it's still gonna be better than anything like this.
I'm getting water. I'll be right back.
I don't know. The World Cup is kind of fucked right now. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's a separate.
No,
That's just an
Overwatch
Overwatch issue.
esports is kind of
That's
fucked.
a separate issue. That's a separate issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I just don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a good look for. I mean, if they wanted the impressions, if they wanted the clout, they definitely got it. Because it's there's so many memes now about fucking XQC shows up to the Esport Olympics on his
playing
iPhone.
taekwondo.
Fucking Super shows up and plays Jumpman.
I mean,
Put Fall Guys!
yeah, that'd be sick.
Non-violent, funny game.
No, but there's that game where you all shoot each other in a first person. You know, it's a dumb
Fall
joke.
Guys?
No, I was. Just,
Yeah, there's one where you drop nuclear weaponry
Yeah,
on everyone.
there's that game where you reenact the bombing of Hiroshima.
Damn.
Hi, I'm Joe Buck, and we're here with...
Japan's air defense has been laughable as of late. Bad zone coverage. Yeah, I
Zone coverage.
I just don't know what the. I mean, here's the issue, right? Is this just an example of hate watching? With Velma, when the Esports Olympics show up, I mean, I'll probably watch it just to see how fucking bad it is. It's gonna be all the memes, all the views. You post the gold medal match of virtual taekwondo. Can you imagine how dumb that must look? They're just on their phones.
The only one out of these that makes sense is chess, because that's fine.
But that's not an
it's chess.
esport.
But then you
Just
can
play
also
chess!
literally just play
Go
chess.
to Target and buy a fucking chessboard! It's not that difficult! These
Buy
people
some
run the
fun chess,
Olympics!
too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I don't
Olympics
know.
has run out of money. If you would like to support the Olympics, please send us your money.
I mean, they've been
Please
adding a bunch of
donate
weird sports.
cryptocurrency to the Olympics.
They added skateboarding and they added 3v3 basketball.
Yo, play Skate 3 at the Olympics.
No, but like skating
all
and
the
like
memes.
even 3-on-3 I get because there's so many leagues for like 3-on-3 basketball
Mhm.
now, and like the rules are so different. It's like half court and everything.
What about 5v5 basketball? Like, where's that?
Oh, that's a good idea.
What about goats?
Where's-
It's
where's-
6v6 basketball, and they're all centers. You know.
Where's where's American football?
Okay. So I'm pretty sure in order for a sport to be added to the Olympics, it needs to be played on all populated continents in the
Okay.
world. So like American football is not played in all
Any other
In
continent?
Africa or Asia? No, it's played in Europe a little bit.
Are fucking
And-
slacking, bro.
I don't know. If
I
it's
want
played
to
in
see I
Australia.
want to see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes swag on a bunch of
Moss,
fucking
you
Europeans.
go to Kenya and tell them to play football. You go to Kenya. And
I
tell
feel like
them to play
Kenyans
football.
have a little bit more to worry about than playing fucking American football.
I mean, it would be funny though if it's like what happened in last year's World Cup where U.S. and England drew. Like, could you imagine if we sent our Team USA American football team
It'd be a
against
fucking
England?
kill squad.
And, no,
We could
and
put
then
our
and then it was
B
a tie.
team in,
No, and then it
we
was a
still
tie.
Destroy everybody else.
Could you
We could
imagine
put-
though?
We could probably take like Alabama or
No,
Ohio
could you
State
imagine
and let
what
them
the
just
fuck would
cook.
happen if we sent our men's national team of American football to play against England in the Olympics and it was a tie and they fucking tied? I mean, like, we would be in
That'd be
shambles.
disgraceful.
So Nick, basically, last time I saw this thing before, perhaps, and it was like, give me your all-time starting five for basketball, and it was like nonsense. It's like you don't pick actual athletes because that's fucking boring.
Nick, to give you some context, I had Lightning McQueen at the 1, Spencer from iCarly at the 2, Wallace and Gromit at the 3, Peter Griffin at the 4, the Iron Giant as my center, Barack as my 6th man, and Tyrion Lannister as my coach. Cary had the
So-
Titanic as his center.
So
So-
this was very funny and enjoyable to do. So what I thought of a couple weeks ago is, hey, we could take this one step further and do this for football, and we could do an all-time starting offense. And basically, it would be quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, an offensive line. But for the O line, you just pick like a general group of people, like. If for the offensive line, I picked the European government, like that's my offensive line, and a coach, and that's all you need. But Cary, for some reason, is hellbent on not doing this segment right now, and waiting for Preston, as if Nick doesn't watch football, and as if Nick doesn't have funny characters sitting around in his
Yeah,
brain.
as if Nick would not enjoy doing this funny segment.
Exactly, yeah.
See, but
Alright.
the problem is, like, I thought for football, I'm like, okay, we can get some prep time for this. And then Cary said, no. But last time, we all did this off the
Cary
cuff.
on
So,
blast
like,
right now.
Cary's sitting here, he's like, okay, I'm going to just cut this whole fucking segment.
No, we
Anyway,
should do, no. Okay, no. Instead, we should do baseball rosters at some point as
No.
well.
I don't
know you guys
watch
care.
baseball. Okay,
It
we could
doesn't
do.
fucking
We could
matter.
do that at some point. We could
Sure.
do a fucking F1 team. We could do drivers, head mechanic,
Exactly.
and team principal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You could do it for any sport. You don't have to know about the sport. It's just dumb
Exactly.
as shit.
Yeah.
But
But
football
I
is the
wanted
one
to
we
do
want to do
football.
now.
And I want to
Okay.
do it now because it would be
Okay.
funny.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead, Moss. Give me your.
Okay, so I've been struggling with this a little bit because I have so many good picks. So I'm gonna give you my first lineup. Okay, I have
Kill
2.
Squad.
This first one is my B team, and then I'll give you my kill squad. Okay. So at quarterback, we've got The Rock from The Game Plan. At running back,
Game plan rock. Okay. Yeah.
at running back, we've got The Rock from Hobbs and Shaw. At wide receiver, we're taking the WWE Hall of Famer The Rock. At wide receiver, we're taking The Rock from the Jumanji franchise. At tight end, we're taking The Rock from Tooth Fairy, where he was a hockey player.
Yeah.
And then for the offensive line, I'm gonna take 5 of the big fat Dwayne Johnsons from that movie with Kevin Hart
Oh yeah.
before he got fit. So
Okay, wait.
that's my
Where-
B team.
Who's your
Where's
coach?
Black Adam? Where's Black Adam?
Oh,
Yeah,
Black
who's your
Adam's my
coach?
coach. Funny enough.
Okay,
so,
got it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a kill squad right there. But I have my actual
That's
one,
the
but
D team for Dwayne.
I'm gonna make someone else go first before
It's
I
like
drop
that.
my roster.
Have you seen that Jeopardy edit where it's Alex Trebek, where like hypothetically there's 3 contestants, but they're all named Jeff, and all the categories are called Jeff, and so it's just Alex Trebek like, and we have Jeff, and then Jeff, and then it's like, could you imagine like Kevin Harlan's like, here's The Rock, and the rocks, and it's the rock. Oh, the rock with the block, and the rock is just saying.
The rock with the block, and the rock's gonna go all the way.
The Rock with the block, and he blocked with his cock, and his huge fucking cock, and he got blocked by the Rock. All right, Mark. So Mark.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I
Nick,
do have
you
a
got. You need
team.
some time to think.
I
do
think my
actually.
team-
I'm
I
going
think
last. I'm going last.
I got
again,
some
'cause
good
it's-
I don't
picks, and I
have
have
anyone.
some like alternates here.
Just
So I have
think of
some
something, Cary. You got time.
I'm just
Think
gonna
of so many
name
characters.
an NFL team.
That's not how it works.
Well,
Can't,
I
be,
mean-
So
can't be real football players.
So,
You could do other athletes, but
So for two of these positions, I have offensive and then defensive. I don't know what a defensive running back is, but we're gonna pretend like it exists.
no, we're not doing defense. We could do
We're not
defense
doing
later.
defense.
Okay, well then I have an alternate, right? Because you have, certain team and certain team, whatever. So
What?
at quarterback, I got Jack Black.
Okay, that's pretty
man's
good.
a goat.
Yeah.
He'll run the
Is
team.
there,
He'll
a
run the
is there a
squad.
specific version of Jack Black that you're thinking of? Because
Because
I would go for School of Rock Jack Black, but honestly, Bowser Jack
Nacho
Black.
Libre Jack Black.
no,
is pretty
yeah,
fucking
it's
vicious.
it's
True.
got to be Nacho Libre Jack Black.
True,
Man's just coming out
definitely.
in tights. He doesn't need padding. He's got plenty of that already. Running
Mhm.
back, hey, it's new, it's hip, it's cool. He will literally kill you. It's Cocaine Bear. He's gonna pound over anybody. My
Bear
first,
high as fuck on cocaine.
my first wide receiver will literally grab anything because it's a really big ass crane. It's just a crane on the field, just catching dimes. This way might be one that goes over Cary and Nick's head, but at my wide receiver I have Gummy from that episode of SpongeBob with the really
Just
big,
the
ball,
of gum.
Oh yeah.
Anything will stick to it. Bro.
Yep, that's my second, and it literally absorbs the enemy team. So yep. At tight end, I got a pretty tight end. I got Captain America, and specifically Captain America's ass, because that is America's ass at tight end. And then this I have alternates for because I didn't want too many bears on my team. My original thought were the country bears. Or the country bears. But if they're too busy making hits, playing shows, whatever, I have the entirety of the U.S. military as my defense, as my offensive line.
Okay.
And then for my coach, I have good old everyone's favorite Overwatch character, Winston. Okay,
that's
Winston is
pretty
my
good. That's
coach.
pretty good.
I don't
That's
know. I
pretty
think this.
fucking
I think
good.
this team could go far. I mean, the Super Bowl's not out of reach for these guys.
Okay,
Alright.
so my quarterback is 60-year-old Tom Brady. So this is Tom Brady in like 2040.
Tom Brady,
2035.
turning to dust.
20
Yes.
Turning to dust.
He's in a wheelchair. So he has to.
but he can still throw.
He has to really trust his offense. So he has to know where they're gonna
He
be.
literally can't get hit.
He can't see it. No, he
literally-
can't see over his O line because he has to.
Because he's in a fucking
Yeah,
wheelchair.
exactly.
Okay.
And then my running back, I'm gonna take an all-star. I'm gonna take the star player for my basketball team. I got the Titanic as my running back.
Damn.
No.
I don't, how look? It's quite quick in the wet, but like, how does it do on grass?
Titanic's got a top speed of 25 knots. That's pretty fast for a ship of its size. I mean, we'll have yet to see
Yeah,
at
but
the combine.
you're on land. How does the
Hey,
Titanic? It'll destroy the
No,
field.
Cary, I was gonna take, the fish from Finding Nemo that make all the fun shapes and make fun of Marlin. I was gonna take them as my O-line, but then they're just gonna sit on the field and do nothing because they're just gonna drown. They're gonna suffocate
listen.
because they're not in the water.
Everyone talks shit.
Unless we're playing underwater football, which I don't think we are.
Everyone
Yeah.
talks shit until the Titanic runs like a 3-second at the combine. Okay. All right.
You put the Titanic down and it stretches 40 yards.
Exactly.
That's it.
0 second time. 0
Zero
seconds.
first ever instant 40.
Yep.
Damn, this shit's schmoving.
And then my two wide receivers, and they come in a package. It's gonna be my favorite esports casters, Brennan Sideshow. I think only one of them knows American football. It's Bren, so he can really help out
The
Josh on
Titanic.
that.
He can really
Yeah.
get some pressure off the Titanic. He needs to rest his boat.
Yep. And then my tight end is gonna be Kang from
No.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Damn,
Which
that's a good
version
one.
of
no.
Kang?
Kang the Conqueror.
The Chad Kang. Yeah.
That's
Kang.
what,
Chad
the
Kang.
Conqueror. Okay.
Chad Kang. Then my O line is the canonically 9-foot tall Teletubbies Um, you can look it up. They're 9 feet tall. There's some pretty big
That's
people.
so good.
Tom Brady's got all the time in the world in that pocket. No one's getting
They're
past
just
him.
fucking terrified of him anyway.
I think if Tom Brady is able to complete one pass while he's sitting in a wheelchair overlooking 9-foot tall O-line, I think that's gonna be
he really cements himself as the GOAT if he can
yes,
do that.
yes. And then my coach is Ted Lasso once again. I mean, it's just
Unbeatable.
unstoppable. The GOAT.
You just gotta
Alright.
believe.
Nick,
All right. I still might need to think about some of these, but I think I got some good answers. And I went for a theme here. So
Okay.
I'm going for fictional characters from universes where like the rules are kind of just generically made up as you go. So like the characters can just kind of do whatever
If
the fuck
this
they
is
want.
anime shit, Nick.
This is
I'm not
American
gonna-
football.
No, I know.
they're
I
playing
know. It's not.
American.
No,
I know.
no.
I know. No.
The
You'll know,
rules
not
are
being
very
made.
You'll know
clear.
exactly-
in
you'll know exactly what
American
I mean.
football.
You'll know exactly what I mean when I talk about my offensive
Foreign
line. The
animation
Toon
in my
Squad.
American sport.
The entirety of the
Squad?
Toon Squad is my offensive
That's
line.
all right.
Yeah.
I would have taken the Monstars because of the size, but that's pretty
No,
good.
they're my defensive line. They're my defensive line.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh, that's
fair.
brutal.
Let's see. My quarterback is Minecraft Steve. Because he can just
Ooh.
build. He can just build a house and give himself as much time to go out of the pocket.
He's
as
got
he
a
needs to.
very, very protected. in
very
that pocket.
Dropping
Very
lava on the
protective
ground
pocket.
and
Yep.
stopping people.
Just dropped the TNT block. It's like
Just
the guy.
ender pearls to the end zone, just like bobs and weaves, and then just shows up at the
OP as
touchdown.
fuck.
Zero running yards, zero
My
passing
running
yards,
back
8
is
touchdowns.
my running back is Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
Alright,
that's a
cool.
good pick.
I'm gonna wreck it.
That's
Yeah.
size, bro.
Honestly, yeah, he should be my fullback. Actually, I need to think of. I-
No, we
the
need
running back
just a
should
running
probably-
back. Fuck the
Yeah,
fullback.
okay,
He's not
okay.
gonna
Fast,
stiff
right?
arm people. He's gonna stiff hand people.
Let's see. One of my wide. So do you need 2 wide receivers, or just one?
Yeah,
2 wide receivers.
Okay. Because I thought of one. One of them is Monty Mole. Specifically Monty Mole from the Mario Baseball series. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had Monty Mole with a ball
That
in his
man
hand
hit
in the fucking
dingers.
Mario Baseball series.
That man hit stingers.
No, the fucking thing is about
We ain't
Monty
playing
Mole.
baseball here, though.
But when he has the ball in his hand, he has a special ability called
Yeah,
Ball
notice how
Dash, where he
Super
runs
Mario
fucking.
football doesn't
He runs
exist.
really fast. That is a good
really
trait
fast.
in a football player.
I hadn't thought about my other wide receiver yet, but my coach is let's do it. The fucking gun from
Let's do it.
the fucking gun from
the funny Rick and Morty gun game.
What about tight end? What about your tight end?
Oh, tight end. That's a good
I
question.
don't know. I don't think any of you guys are one-upping my tight end.
I don't know, Mark. I've got some.
Because he does have a tight end.
He's
a
got a
literal-
pretty tight end.
That's a tight end right there.
Let's see. I might need some help recruiting some people for my team for tight end and the other wide receiver because I did not have a ton of time.
It's okay. I didn't have a 1
You-
or a 2 picked out when I did my basketball one. So
Honestly, I'll probably just say.
Have you guys seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I've seen some parts of it. Yeah.
The suggestion I kept getting for my team that I'm now giving to Nick is Jamie Lee Curtis with hot dog fingers. That's going to be for
Oh
wide receiver.
yeah. It's a decent one. Or Rakakuni.
Sounds
Nick,
good.
whenever
With
you're
the-
done, I'll go.
The tight end. So that'll be the Jamie Lee Curtis will be my tight end. Other fictional character that could be my wide receiver that comes from a universe that makes no fucking sense.
Take Airbud.
Uh,
Airbud's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
sure, I'll do
always a
Airbud.
safe bet. No
Fucking
one's gonna hit
dog.
a dog. No one's gonna hit the dog. So
That's fair.
To him.
That's fair.
Without it
No one's
getting
gonna put their
picked.
shoulder down and he'd stick a fucking dog.
Dude, they got the
Sounds good.
emotional
Everybody-
warfare.
Oh my
everybody-
god.
No
Okay.
one's gonna hit
He'd
sticks.
stick a fucking dog. Oh my god. Okay.
He's emotional support wide receiver.
Oh my god.
All right. So what I have prepared for you boys is not a starting lineup. It is a depth chart. I
This,
have a full
this is winning. This is winning
fucking
10
depth
Super
chart.
Bowls. This is winning 10 Super
Yes.
Bowls.
this
so-
is winning 10 in a row.
QB1. Popeye the
take-
Sailor Man.
I was-
He's got those
Oh, yeah.
massive
I was gonna
forearms.
say, if you
He's
take
got the
Josh
arm
Allen
talent
on
is
this
there.
team, I'm gonna kick your ass.
QB2, I got Goku in Super Saiyan form.
Wait. So
You
this is
wouldn't-
like 4 teams. What are you?
No, it's the depth chart. I said I gave you a depth. Okay, I'll give you my starting lineup. My starting lineup to start, right? So I've got Popeye the Sailor Man. My starting my quarterback. Starting at running back, I've got the Were Rabbit from Wallace and Gromit. Curse of the Were Rabbit. At wide receiver 1, I've got the all unstoppable Mercedes W11E Performance. No one's stopping that thing.
Who is driving? Is it just the car? It's just gonna
It's
sit
just
there
the
and
car.
look
Sentient
pretty?
car. That car goes fast, bro.
If someone's driving it, the dude driving it is fast.
Well, that's funny enough because I kept the theme, and you might have a similar question. For wide receiver 2, I took the Magic School Bus.
What's the car?
Dude.
What's the F1
The-
car's
no,
name from fucking Cars 2? It should make him your other wide receiver.
Francesco Bernard.
Yeah, Francesco
No, I've got my
Bernard.
wide receiver. My third spot in my depth chart. If the W11 or the school bus ain't ready to go, I've got an F22 Raptor piloted by Tom Cruise. So unbeatable.
That thing is gonna go
At
fast.
tight end, I've got Donkey Kong. I think he's pretty reliable.
Classic.
He's
Gotta
got big
take
hands.
Donkey
He
Kong.
can catch well. For my offensive line, I was torn between because the O line they're playing in the trenches. They got to be really down and dirty. They got to have no
I
cares.
don't like the word trenches and where this.
So,
is gonna go.
so I had two, but my starting lineup, I picked the Decepticons as my, I picked Optimus Prime last time, the Autobots, but like the Decepticons, I don't give a fuck. For my coach, I picked the all-knowing, smartest man on the planet, Matthew Super Delisi. I think he knows how to run a competitive team.
No, you should.
Why?
What would have been
Bonus, I drafted a kicker, actually. I had an extra pick in a trade,
Okay.
and I picked Charlie Brown as my kicker. Yeah.
The first kicker to ever go 0 for 60 in the NFL.
Hey, that was his holder's problem, okay?
No, exactly. Who's the holder? Is
I
it
didn't draft a
Lucy?
fucking
It
holder.
should be
Is
Lucy.
it
No, it
Lucy?
should be
It should be
Lucy.
Lucy.
Every time just pulls
just
it.
to give you guys a little bit more, because that's a kill squad. No one's beating that team. But to give you guys a little bit more, if you're like, oh, I got one ups on you. My running back 2, I've got Maui, the fucking demigod, the shape shifting demigod. You're not beating him.
Yo, no
At
one's
tight
taking
end,
Max Verstappen on their team right
At
now.
tight end, I've got Donkey Kong at the 1, but my backup, I've got Mr. Incredible on the sidelines, ready to go.
Got
And for
some
my
size.
offensive line, the Decepticons, they find out they've got to go fight the Autobots. Don't worry, I've got 5 Winstons ready to sit down and play on the O line. No one's beating that
twisting
shit.
away. No one can handle the power of dancing
And I kept
monkey.
the theme going. I have Super coaching my team, but for assistant coach, I've got Jeff from the Overwatch team. So
No, it would have been really funny if you were like all these fictional characters in your team, and your head coach is like, and Andy Reid's there.
I thought you were taking. I really thought you were about to take.
fucking Sean
Andy-
McDermott.
I
Yeah.
thought you were about to take. I really thought you were about to take Josh Allen at QB and just be like, this man. It doesn't
No,
matter who's
my
on his team.
QB3 was Walter White. I felt like
So
he.
like, wouldn't
He would be better as a coach. I think,
wouldn't the
you know?
Mercedes
No, my
W11?
GM is Walter White. My GM gets it done. Don't
Gus
talk about how
Frank
we
is
got
my
the money. Don't talk about how we got the money.
Wouldn't the Mercedes W11 be better as a running back? Because as a quarterback, you just drop the football in the driver's seat and it just goes, like it just drives toward the end zone.
See, that's a fair point, but who the fuck is tackling the Were Rabbit? And second, when it comes to the W11, it's gonna get downfield so fast.
Well,
You can fucking throw deep every play.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What
Whoa.
gear can you get up to? What gear can you get up to in 100 yards?
Eighth.
You know? I don't
No,
think
there's
so.
no way. There's actually no way. Let me check.
So
We
what?
can-
The W11 gets up to second gear?
I'm sorry.
I'm catching that bitch.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
catching
sorry.
that bit with
Oh, yeah,
fucking
no.
AF1s on.
Oh yeah,
You can-
Mark,
I'll run after that shit with Tim's
Oh, yeah,
on.
Mark,
Like,
I'm
that,
sorry.
that
The
shit's
W11
slow
gets
as
to third gear and is going at 110 miles per hour. Yeah, that 4.2 speed is really gonna
So-
come in handy when
Oh,
catching a
dude,
fucking
we can
F1 car.
probably figure this out. So 100 yards is 91 meters. We can just go look at onboard footage from like a race start when they first start accelerating and just see when, and we can just go on Google Maps and like see how long that race is. Like we can actually figure this out and see
That
what.
is so much effort for a
do we
funny
care
bit
that
on
much?
the
Well, I'm not
W11.
doing it on. I'm not doing it on the podcast.
I'm gonna
I'll do it
Google
after.
it.
That's not gonna. You're not
How
gonna get an answer.
fast is
Plus,
the
you're gonna have to
Mercedes
do.
W11?
W11?
You're gonna have to do
Is
work on this.
The Mercedes W11 in 100 meters. Okay.
It's
Well,
not.
no, it's 91 meters. You have to do 91 meters because 100
Oh,
yards
I'm
is.
sorry. In 91
Well, you're not gonna
meters.
get that answer. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's possible. Like, it's possible to figure it out. Like, what? I guess like what gear it would be in. I mean, regardless, no one's fucking catching it. Like, like. I mean, more importantly, who's gonna tackle it? Who's gonna be willing to stand in front of a?
I don't know. Wreck
a
it.
Formula One of like 1,300 kilogram Formula One car.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wreck-It Ralph would be a pretty good defensive lineman.
I'm gonna wreck it. This car coming at me at 200 miles per
Well,
hour.
it wouldn't get up to 200 miles per hour in 100 yards.
Fuck it. We'll put Andy Reid on the
That's the thing.
defensive
That
line.
was,
of
hey,
Blue Time.
hey, but the W11 had the DOS system, the DOS where they could like move the wheel and reset the wheels, so the traction and heat in those tires.
Oh my god.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
Next bit.
No, I mean, hang on. Let me see. Okay, the distance in Bahrain from P1 to the first braking zone is a quarter mile.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
So that
even
is
get into like
400. That's
second
400.
gear.
That's 400 meters. Okay, so that's 440
Mark,
yards.
have you ever started a race in Bahrain? You get
Have you ever driven an F1 car? Moron? No.
in the video games. Have you ever killed somebody?
Yes. In the
In a
video game.
No, in real life, in real life.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna edit out the in real life, and Mark's like, yes.
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 No, like-
podcast ends there.
No, so all we have to do is just look at the telemetry and see like, okay, like at some like where, how far would it be 100 yards? Because like, yeah,
Too much work. Next bit.
well, I'm not doing it now, Nick.
Nick is monkey brain. Too much thinking. Next funny moment.
I mean, these tracks are
Next
long,
point.
Nick. From P1 to the first braking zone is a quarter mile.
But you know it doesn't have to be long. This conversation. Let's move on. Fuck this
Alright.
bit.
Oh wait, Nick, you said you had a question to ask us.
Oh, you do want to go back to my question?
Yeah, because we're done.
I was okay. I was talking to my friends at work about this
Is it
earlier.
about
'cause-
bracket resets?
No.
Damn.
Another day, another podcast.
They were like
making
putting all personal bias aside. What are like some of the most attractive people in the public eye that you like see, or that you like can be like, all right, yeah. Even though I might not personally
I
think that
agree,
they're attractive, I
With
personally
that
don't
scarf?
think that they're attractive.
Have you guys seen the new F1 credits?
Who?
Let me spell it
Who?
out for you. Let me spell
Have
it
you
out.
guys seen Winston from Overwatch?
Let me spell it out for you. Have you guys you've seen the new F1 credits?
I'm talking about Lewis. Dude, this
I'm
guy.
sorry.
This guy loves him. Okay, all right. Oh, he's
Fucking
doing the George Russell. He's doing
on
the awkward,
on the walls.
the awkward
just-
George Russell pose.
No, because
No, George Russell is so fucking.
people
Who do you
that
have, Nick? Who do you
Fine.
have, Nick?
Well,
People-
because-
so people that are celebrities or people in the public eye that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, they're so good looking, when I think they're not.
But not necessarily that you don't have to think so. You even if you don't, like, you could be like, all right, I can see why people would think they're attractive.
I have someone immediately in mind, but Nick,
Yeah.
tell us yours.
Because I was gonna say like the first ones that come to mind for like any females, like that'd be Scarlett Johansson, like is the first one that comes to my mind. But then like the first like main guy who comes to my mind is like Ryan Reynolds, because like those are like the kinds of people that even though like I personally, I mean Scarlett Johansson's a little bit different, but I personally don't.
Jonathan Majors is bad, bro.
Have you seen that,
Bro,
man?
Michael
Michael B.
Jordan?
Jordan.
Jesus Christ. that
Holy
dude.
fuck! Those movie theaters are.
That is good.
Or
Those
what?
are good
No.
looking men right there.
Finish your sentence. Those
Now,
movies
someone-
are what?
So
That's pretty much-
someone
go ahead.
I think someone I don't understand the hype over is Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I knew
Like,
you were gonna
give-
say that.
Like,
Oh, I
give the
knew you
kid
were
a
gonna say
protein
that.
shake, give him a burger, put
Yeah,
some
but
fucking weight
that's
on his
no,
bones.
that's
Put
his
him in a good
style.
movie,
That's
like,
his style. He's a cute little twink. That's why people love him. He's skinny.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. He looks like he is malnourished. Give him food. He has the money to pay for it. Give him
didn't-
food.
I didn't know this until literally today when I had this conversation with my coworkers, but apparently she told me that people think that Pedro Pascal is very attractive.
He
I
is.
love Pedro Pascal. He is. That's
Yeah.
a good man right
He's-
now.
I fuck
never-
Pedro Pascal. Oh, wait.
I never like really think of him that way. I've seen him, like, you've seen his personality. He seems like a
Have
really
you
cool guy.
seen?
Actually,
You haven't seen
Have you
Game of
seen-
Thrones, right, Nick?
I've seen like a lot about it. I've never.
Okay, well he's in it. And
personally.
he's very.
Yeah, I
he's-
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Yes,
huge in it.
the Viper.
Yeah, so I think that's like
Randy
okay,
Orton.
Well, you know
Sorry.
what? Actually, you know what? I think that's interesting, Nick, because like when it comes to like people finding actors attractive, like there's some people like blur the line between like their character and the actor themselves. Obviously, like with Pedro Pascal, like the Viper is a very charismatic person in Game of Thrones, and people like the character, and by extension, they like Pedro Pascal. Obviously, like he's attractive and he's like charismatic on his own, but like
And he's also just a cool dude.
there's that like I think that people definitely blend that like line between like the character and the actor. Like I like the character, therefore I like the actor. And it's
But
like,
versus like Ryan Reynolds, who people would just consider attractive.
I want to turn this conversation slightly. I don't want to talk about women. I want to talk about men.
I brought up men. I brought up a guy.
Only
yeah,
men.
Mark's in the yeah.
Only men.
I know what's on your mind, Marco. It's okay.
Someone. Someone.
Yeah, it's a men.
Is Zahava still there? Hey,
Yeah,
Zahava.
Zahava's
It's like-
hanging out.
it's a
She's
good
like-
Zahava, what's one man you find very attractive in Hollywood?
She didn't like my comments about Timothy Chalamet. She said he feeds
See?
himself off of acting.
Exactly. He's a cute little twink. That's
I
his
don't
whole
care if
brand.
he's
That's
a
his whole
cute-
brand.
No, I don't care.
Let's say that out loud. Say that.
Nah, he can be good at if only he can be good at acting.
Justin Roiland really gets the gears turning, don't you guys think?
Yeah,
Wow,
gets
that
the
was-
gears
whoa, whoa,
turning in the justice
Hey,
system.
the
That
fucking
man's going to
jail
jail.
cell.
I really hope they have this like incredibly self-aware, like, oh jeez, where's Art? And he's like, oh, he's in jail, Morty. Don't or like,
Rick, why do we sound different?
oh, he's in jail, Morty.
He's in jail, Morty.
We don't say his name.
yeah. Yeah. So about
Others-
men. Yeah.
Other
talking about men.
celebrities.
And
that
it doesn't
people
have to be.
find really
Yeah, it's
attractive.
not even actors. It's celebrities.
Does it have to be
in general.
someone we
Um,
find attractive, or can I tell the funny quote for the funny study about the most attractive NFL head coaches?
Actually, wait.
There
what
was
do you mean?
this. So there was this. They created this like algorithm, and they ran like pictures of all the NFL head coaches through a thing with some university. It's probably like fucking Princeton because they have nothing better to do than kick rocks and suck cocks all day, I guess. So they created an algorithm to analyze the attractiveness of people, and they did it for NFL head coaches. Give me a nice guess who the third most attractive
Andy
coach.
Reid. Andy
It was
Reid.
Andy Reid. It was fucking Andy Reid was voted the third most attractive coach in the NFL, behind like
And-
Sean McVay and I think
Dude,
and
that
Bill
man-
Belichick.
Kyle Shanahan. No, that's Emperor Palpatine if he was a real person and like played football.
Fucking people that people find attractive that I don't think are
The
attractive.
Chris's, Hemsworth, Evans, and Pratt. I'm sorry, Evans has all of them beat.
He does.
That's fair.
Wow.
Henry Cavill?
That was like straight from a BuzzFeed article. What you just
Henry
said
Henry
there.
Cavill?
Cavill is what some of my coworkers said
That man
today.
reloaded his fucking biceps in an action movie.
The
He's
greatest
top-
action
Nah,
movie, some might say.
No, Henry Cavill's yeah.
He
he's
built
good.
a
He's
computer,
pretty good
and
one.
that's very sexy.
Noah Centineo, kid looks like a bag of rocks. Like
Who?
he's not Noah
Who?
Centineo.
Who? What are you, a fucking
the-
owl?
Who
Who?
the fuck?
Exactly. He's stupid. I don't care if
Dude,
he's
you know,
shaking
back
his
in the
head.
day, Danny DeVito was pretty fucking good looking.
Bro, he is that's premium. That's
Uh-huh.
wait. Oh, it's the old whatever new hotness. That is new hotness.
That's new
right there.
hotness. You've got the old busted joint.
Oh.
This is the new hotness.
This is new hotness.
All right, so since we've
Um,
exhausted our list of men to talk,
Oh man.
to talk about, actually, I should have brought this up earlier, but Nick mentioned Pedro Pascal, and three of us here have seen The Last of Us.
The
We've all
Last of
caught
Us.
up.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I think I want to touch on it real quick before we end the podcast. But it's like, I'm just glad that it's good. But you know what?
Me
Maybe in
too.
hindsight, it was always going to be good because not only was like Neil Druckmann working on the show, but Craig Mazin was working on it as well. And it's like when you have those people on it, I think it's gonna like most video game adaptations. They don't have the original like creatives who worked on the video game on the movie, so it ends up just
But we got
Failing.
two this year. Two this year. Last of Us and Mario. So
True.
Nintendo had an iron grip on that shit.
Who was on the crew for Arcane? Because like, who was on the creative crew for
Riot.
Arcane?
Literally,
So
Riot.
it literally was Riot?
Riot's own animation department made Arcane.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's
That's why
another
it's
one.
good. It's literally the creators working on the. Yeah, it's like, I mean, compared to like fucking Blizzard's Warcraft movie, like they just offsourced it to
Like Paramount or something.
no,
or
New
Universal.
New Line. They're just like, hey, we don't give a shit about our IP. Go and do whatever the fuck you want. And Riot's like, no, we want this to be good. So our own animation branch is gonna work on this ourselves.
Yeah.
But no,
like-
Last of Us. Sorry, go on, Nick.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the main thing that I could see, like, the main example that I always go to for like awful adaptions is the fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender fucking live action movie
my
that they
God.
made. I actually consider that the worst movie I've
Well,
ever
that's like-
seen.
I meant, like,
the worst
video
movie
game
of all time. But
Adaptations.
yeah, that's fair. But
But I mean, yeah, there's been
well, then
Mortal
Drag-
Kombat.
Dragon
maybe-
Ball Evolution is the next one that I
Super
would go.
Mario Brothers movie.
What,
The
the
old
original one?
Uncharted.
That one's goated though. That one's awesome.
All right.
Wrong.
The Last of Us, very good show. Pedro
Amazing.
Pascal, very good.
And Bella
But-
Ramsey.
I was gonna say, let's talk Bella Ramsey. They're
Bella
just
Ram-
like every single episode prove how much better of an actor they are than Pedro Pascal. Not that Pedro Pascal's
Better?
not,
Really?
no, okay,
I
but
think
in the
you
in the
can't
way
compare
of
'em.
fair, but it's like in the way of like not that Pedro Pascal's bad because I really like his portrayal of
No, that's
Joel.
what you're saying.
But holy fuck, it's like every single episode, Bella Ramsey just gets better and better and better.
Well, it's because
it's-
like you just start to like her more and more. Like
Fair.
I don't know.
Um,
I understand why people were kind of upset with her casting at first because with Pedro Pascal, a lot of people were like, oh shit, that's awesome, like perfect, like he's great. I love Pedro Pascal. He was in Game of Thrones, and then then it comes out that Bella Ramsey, and they're like, I don't know, she doesn't look like Ellie. That was the huge thing.
You know what was really funny to me though? When the show started, I was way more convinced by Ellie than I was by Joel. Like the voice and
That's
some of the
interesting.
mannerisms were sort of off for me.
A lot of people, and me included, disagree.
I think generally it's the other
Well,
way
I mean,
around.
it took like by the end of the first episode, and I'm like, yeah, I'm.
It just
but
helped
right
that
when
Joel
it started,
looked
it
like
was.
Pedro
took me
Pascal.
it took me to like not the third episode. It took me like to the second episode for me to get on with Bella Ramsey. At first I was like, I mean, obviously at first, especially because the first episode is kind of. Actually, no, that's not true. The first episode's fucking incredible. It's probably one of the best pilots that I've seen. Actually,
It's so funny
but-
because there's literally like it's like you're
That's from
literally
the game.
the Leonardo
That's from the
DiCaprio.
game.
It's-
That's from the fucking
That's from
game.
the game. That's from the game. That's from the game.
Also,
Like
I also love how good, like how faithful they are with the game while still like creating things for their own. Like,
Well, that's,
episode 3 is fucking incredible and literally has nothing to do with the game.
This is the slight changes that they've had to make to the universe and to make it more interesting for like TV. Like it's not spread airborne now. Cuz how fun would it be to watch a bunch of people in fucking gas masks anytime they go inside? It's like it'd be
you can't
boring.
act.
So and I mean I was going to ask what y'all's favorite episodes are so far. I mean we only have one more to go,
I think
but
it's the last
and
one.
it literally is coming tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I do want to preface that. I mean, because we're
Do
uploading
you
this
think
perhaps
episode
tomorrow.
8 will be called The Last of Us?
no.
No, you mean
Because
episode?
it's the last
mean episode
one.
You mean episode
9?
9, the last one. Episode
last-
nine?
I think-
Yeah, this is guys. We're having this conversation before the finale aired. I just want that to be clear because some people might be confused why we're not talking about it. But yeah,
What is this? It depends on when this episode gets released.
This is the thing. I don't think they're going to finish the first game in the season.
No, they have to.
They
That's-
have
They
they
are.
have way too much to still go through.
No, not really.
For a
I'm ass-
43-minute episode?
I'm
2
assuming
hours.
that tomorrow. I'm
2
assuming
hours.
tomorrow's episode they're probably just gonna release it. And it's gonna
2
be like an
hours.
hour and a half.
It's not, Nick. They released the runtimes at the
It's
beginning
2 hours.
before they all came out.
Oh,
See,
they did.
if,
2
It's a
hours.
43 minute.
it's
a 43
43
It
minutes.
is longer than Cocaine Bear. It is 2
If
hours.
it shut the fuck
You
up.
could watch the Super Mario Brothers movie and a fair amount of YouTube content before you watch the last episode of The Last of Us. 2 hours. Take it or leave it. I'm putting money on it.
No,
2
Mons, like
hours.
there's not much after this. They just go to the lab, and then Joel has this moral dilemma, and then that's it. Like there's not like
Spoilers.
story. Well, yeah,
For people who have
there's not
never
much
stopped
else.
the game.
Like
You never
If you
know,
haven't played
Joel
or
could,
seen
Joel
this
could
game,
like
this
climb
game
into
came
an
out in
atomic
2013.
bomb.
Okay, well
He
honestly,
could climb into a
like,
bomb. You don't know. They could change it.
the thing I'm confused about is why they didn't go with 10 episodes, like most big budget shows these days are just sticking to an even 10 episodes per season, they definitely could have had 10 because like we dedicated 2 whole episodes out of this 9 episode season were flashback episodes or like stuff separate. We had episode 3 with
Bill and Frank.
thank you,
Yeah,
and
Bill
then
and Frank.
episode 7 with Riley. Like those are 2 complete episodes that are not
But-
involved with the story. We could have had
Episode
more.
6 with Game 6 Clay.
Episode 3. The third episode was one of the greatest things. I texted Cary right after I watched it, and he hadn't seen it yet. But I was like, that was
Oh,
genuinely
it's
one
a
of the
banger.
best things I've ever watched in my life.
It really was.
It was
Yeah,
fucking devastating. And I just
Oh,
think
no,
it's
but it had gay people.
fair, which makes it problematic, and I don't actually support it. But like,
You can't say that. You can't say that anymore.
I'm kidding.
We're
I'm
just
kidding.
a joke.
I'm
It's a joke. It's a
kidding,
joke. It's a
I'm
joke.
kidding,
Joke.
Kidding. I hope
It's
Christian
like
didn't hear that.
literally Nick. I saw that one clip of you. We were playing Warzone back in like early 2020.
Oh, the fucking. Oh no, we're gonna lose. We're all girls.
Yeah.
Kidding.
We were about to jump out the plane, and Nick and I randomly selected 2 female character models, and Nick was like, just out of nowhere, like we were silent up until this moment. He was like, "Ah, fuck, we're gonna lose. We're all girls. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
Just the immediate backtrack. I was...
it's one of those moments where you say something and you're like, at the moment, like not even after you say it, it's like in the middle of saying something, you're like, fuck, I regret
No, it's
saying
just so
this immediately.
uncharacteristic for Nick.
Dude,
It's
the, the biggest fucking problem with the finale tomorrow is that I've been watching this
It's
whole
2
show.
hours.
It's
They
not.
should make
It's
it
43
shorter.
minutes. I've been watching
They
this.
should make it shorter.
I've been watching this whole show with Sammy, and she's gone for a week. She's in Florida
Aw,
until
dude, you
next
You're
can't watch
not,
Saturday.
it.
you're not waiting.
So I have
obviously.
to wait a week.
Nope.
and
No, you're
somehow
not.
I
avoid
respect it. No, I
spoilers.
respect it. Nope, that's
No,
I'm
what
literally
you should be
just
doing.
not gonna. I'm not gonna
No.
go on Twitter.
W boyfriend. Don't be an
no,
L
no.
boyfriend. Be a
Fuck
W.
Fuck that. I'd watch that shit.
L take.
I have
Mhm.
to.
You have to, Moss, and that's the right choice. That's the right choice. You made the right choice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
You know what L stands for?
loud when they fucking
Being a
when they-
man, and you're gonna go be a man and take the L and watch the fucking show.
I'm just. It's such an interesting thing, though.
I take deeply upsetting my girlfriend over 43 minutes of fake content. I gotta
Whoa,
wait.
It's 2 hours. That's more commitment.
Shut up!
43 minutes of fictional content. It's like that Bill Burr joke where someone's talking about like a awful story, and they're like, oh, "Could you believe that happened?" Oh my, like you can't make that up. And Bill's like, "Well, have you seen Star Wars? Like that's that's made up. Like
That's all made up, and you eat that shit up.
it's just
Have
really
you seen
interesting.
Cocaine Bear? That shit
That
is
shit's
just
fantastic. Now that
It's
is
not
based
made
on-
up.
Well, it's a
that
real
is
story,
real
yeah.
life.
Like,
based
real
on
life.
I can't believe that was Ray Liotta's last movie.
have you guys seen?
Fucking
After watching it and seeing how he dies, spoiler alert, he dies. It's pretty awesome.
Mark, are you gonna watch the direct to video streaming movie Cocaine Shark coming
That's
this summer?
going to theaters. That is going to theaters.
Oh, it is.
It will. If they make another one, it's going to theaters.
No, but Cocaine Shark it's going straight to like video.
That's not real, is it?
No, it is. No, it is. It's
It's not,
low
no.
What
budget.
the fuck?
What are they just gonna do like Sharknado? But
It's gonna
instead
be
they just
basically
soup 'em up
Sharknado
on
and Cocaine Bear mixed.
Now we're gonna get the CCU, the Cocaine Cinematic Universe, a bunch of different animals. all on
we're gonna get
cocaine.
like Cocaine Giraffe or some shit.
Oh, the
Cocaine
trailer's
honey
out.
badger.
Cocaine
Guys, the
Endgame.
trailer's out, and it's the same exact thing as Cocaine Bear.
But
Yeah,
there's water.
Cocaine Endgame. Or it's like the JSU, or the JCU, the Jesus Cinematic Universe. So they start making a bunch of different movies about like the Bible. You know how much money that would print, you know?
Yeah.
Money that would print.
The Jesus
So
Cinematic
fucking
Universe.
terrible.
Why does it
All the
Marvel?
fucking all the Republicans going to see this fucking movie, and it's all just ass.
Listen, with Marvel touching on like bringing all like the gods, like with Zeus and like all these other gods into the mix, like why not just bring in like
Jesus
the god?
Christ.
Like no, like the god. Why not? You know, just like
Like Thor's fighting
The
Hercules,
Avengers-
and then
the
it just
Avengers
stopped.
fight
And it's just,
God.
they're all fighting in
God.
Secret
And then-
Wars. There's like Kang and like
and then
Doctor
God shows
Doom
up.
and Galactus, and all of a sudden Jesus Christ just shows up.
Yeah, and it's like I brought back up, and his dad, and then God shows. Fucking the God shows.
They're like, you're not him. He just like lands on water and just stands there, and they're like,
I am
even
him.
even Galactus is like,
I am him.
I created the phrase "I'm him."
My pronouns are he, because I'll never be him.
No, and then God's only
Pronouns
line.
are he because I'll never be him.
God's only line is "I've
That's
come."
so
I've
fucking
come.
stupid.
Are you putting
I've
that,
come.
dude? Someone's got that as like their
Marc,
Instagram
what are you
bio.
looking at right now? Why are you looking with your jaw open like a fucking moron?
Guys, look in general, and please watch this. This is.
This is a
Wait,
this is
It
a
was-
podcast. You're putting
It was made. This movie.
it's Cocaine Shark.
The director of Cocaine Bear was like, "Yeah, Cocaine Shark. That sounds great." So some random ass fucking company made this shitty ass movie. Watch it. It looks like probably vomit on a screen. It looks terrible.
Okay, so this thing, one, this looks worse than a student film. Two, 90% of this is stock footage. Like,
No, wait until you see the shark.
why are they all stop motion? Why was this filmed on an iPhone?
wait,
Literally, why are
wait until you see the shark.
an
Spec-
explosion?
Special effects are getting so good now. You
Dude,
can't
the
tell if they're
shark!
real or not.
The shark! What the fuck
Yeah,
is?
this
with how
looks
easy
terrible.
with how easy people can use visual effects now, it's so hard to tell what's
God.
fake these days.
You know, the thing is though, if I made that for like
They
Cocaine
set it
Shark.
a
up for a
thesis
sequel.
project, I'd get a good. I would get
Hey,
a.
Mark, the CCU, the Cocaine Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. No, the
At-
CCCU, the Cocaine Critter Cinematic.
Did you stay for
Universe.
the after credit
Cocaine
scene for
Critter.
Cocaine Bear, Marco?
There were like 3 of them, and we were walking out.
But
during
did you
one.
stay into the very end where it said
Was
Cocaine
Kang
Bear?
in, was
it
was
said
Kang
Cocaine Bear will return.
return?
Yes.
Cocaine Bear will return.
Did it actually say that?
Cocaine Endgame.
Oh.
Cocaine Endgame.
Cocaine head.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying, okay, the JCU.
Jesus
JCU.
Christ
No,
universe.
the Jesus Cinematic Universe.
That's just America, unfortunately.
Okay, we're done.
Mm.
Yeah. But you know
Alright.
what? It's okay. We've had good we talked about
F1, football, Cocaine
Gaming,
Bear,
Cocaine Bear,
gaming,
Not much else to talk
Attractive
about.
people.
attractive men.
oh, yeah. We talked
And
talked
for
about
like
men.
the 18th episode in a row, we haven't talked about bracket resets as it
You
should
know what?
be. So
I think every episode every episode we just talk about men. Just dedicate a segment to just about men, you know.
the men minute. We have 1 minute to just
The
talk about
men
men.
Did you see on International Women's Day, Ford dropped a commercial and they announced that they were launching a Ford
Yes,
F-150
I need
men's
to
edition.
fucking send you guys this shit.
But
Holy
okay, no, no,
fuck!
no,
This
no,
was the
it-
funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was funny because they turned it around and they made it about like because this supposed men's only truck edition, it had no rear view mirrors, it had no windshield wipers, and they revealed that
This
those
is just
segments
how men
were
drive.
no. It was like these components were designed and invented by women, so thank you to the women at Ford. So they like turned it around, but just the first 10 seconds, like what the fuck are they doing? They just dropped a men's only Ford F-150 truck on International Women's Day. Like,
Guys,
what are they doing?
I need you to look in Discord right
Okay,
now.
we're done. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay.